Today I'm presenting this bill, the California Racial Mascots Act, which will prohibit public schools in California from using the Redskins as a school or athletic team name, mascot, or nickname. For far too long, we have allowed stereotypes and derogatory terms to become normalized to our younger generations. Some of our critics may be indifferent or feel above the issue of a team name, but this is more than just a team name. It's about respect. And respect is something that every culture, every person is entitled to, and Native American tribes must not be left out. There's an obvious lack of respect when we allow teams to brand themselves with racial slurs. This is especially true in the classroom, where education is best served without cultural prejudice. It's ironic that we allow our schools to be presented by a manifestation of that exact thing, but allowing hurtful stereotypes to be promoted and normalized is damage to Native American heritage. Let me remind you that the R word was once used to describe Native Americans' scalps sold for bounty. In today's society, it has become widely recognized as a racial slur that promotes discrimination, similar to the use of the N-word. Using a racial slur as a mascot is hurtful, it's dehumanizing and degrading to the people it portrays. AB 30 will not force the immediate change of the uniforms or other materials bearing the term quote-unquote Redskins, but will allow for a phase-out that will reduce costs and allow for schools to make an easy transition. Many universities and school districts in California have already taken the lead to remove offensive mascots to Native Americans voluntarily. It's time that as a state we take a stand against racial slurs used in our public schools, and I respectfully ask for an aye vote. I have with me some people to testify.
Machuxus. Hello, my name is Dakota Brown. I'm a 16-year-old student and a proud Miwok from the Wilton Rancheria. I'd just like to say thank you for having me here today and allowing me to speak in support of passing AB 30. I speak not only for myself, but for the many students who asked me to speak on their behalf. We are not mascots. We are unique, wonderful, and alive. All 566 federally recognized tribes across the nation and many other unregistered Native Americans are very much alive. The use of race-based mascots cause real harm. This is not about being offended. This is about protecting students. Many of us experience anxiety and fear of attending school events where we know we'll be exposed to negative images of our race. Personally, I dreaded facing Calaveras on game day because of the traditions surrounding their mascot. The hair would stand up on the back of my neck, hearing their band play the stereotypical Indian drum beats. I felt sick seeing their cheerleaders in their skimpy outfits meant to resemble our traditional buckskin dresses, students with paint splattered on their faces, and their announcer with remarks like, "A war party of wild slurskins on their way to sack the quarterback." Not playing was my only other option, but my commitment to my team drove me to attend, even though I was left emotionally drained afterwards. So when I hear other Native students say they won't attend games out of fear of getting into fights or being abused with slurs thrown in their faces, I don't blame them. In the 1950s, a proclamation was made by Governor Peter Burnett to exterminate the Indian tribes here in the Sacramento Valley to make way for the gold rush. The Native population went from over 150,000 to barely 20,000 in a short period of time because of the bounties offered by the federal government for, like Cindy said, from as little as 25 cents to up to $200 per scalp. Those scalps of my ancestors were proof of death and often referred to as Redskins. The oldest school in California to use the harmful name is Calaveras High School, which was founded in 1905 at a time when both bigotry and racism were socially acceptable. According to Dr. R. Cokewood, a Calaveras resident, historian, author, and teacher, Las Calaveras translates to the land of skulls. Combined with the mascot name, this becomes the land of redskin skulls. Followed by Tulare in 1908, Chowchilla in the 1920s, and finally Gustine in 1935, there is no way these schools chose their mascot out of honor or respect when natives were not considered full citizens and could not even vote at that time. It was not until 1968, only 47 years ago, that the Indian Civil Rights Act was passed. Although we've come a long way as a society, here we are, still fighting for an education free of mockery and hate. By having a racial slur as a name and mascot, these schools grant permission to all rivals the right to mock and make fun of Native students. Often, the schools with the disrespectful mascots are unaware of the harm they cause. I have a photo here, and this photo is of a parent wearing a T-shirt with the given title of Tribal Elder. It says Tribal Elder 2012 Track and Field. It's a tradition to give their parents these shirts since the school considers themselves a tribe of slurskins. The title of Tribal Elder is held in high regard and an honor bestowed upon our elders for years of teaching tradition and culture to our people. This right here is my tribal elder, a woman who has fought her whole life for equality and tribal rights. This is my Auntie Darts. No one's team pride should ever outweigh a person's cultural identity. Thank you for taking the time to hear my words today. I will leave you with a quote from Sitting Bull, a Hunkpapa Lakota holy man, who said, "Let us put our minds together and see what life we can make for our children." As a Native youth, I beg you to please pass AB 30 for the health and well-being of all people. Okasi, thank you.